ਇਹ ਸਪਿਰਚੁਅਲ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ AMC ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਸਰਵਿਸਿਜ਼ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। 6045076666 ਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਪਿਰਚੁਅਲ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੱਖ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੱਜ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇਕਰ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਰਾਮਾਤੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਸੀਮਿਤ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੇਰ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਪਨੀਰੀ ਨੂੰ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੀਜ਼ਮ ਇੱਕ ਲੌਜੀਕਲ ਧਰਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਰੈਲੇਵੈਂਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕੀ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਹਰਬੰਸ ਸਿੰਘ ਕੰਡੋਲਾ। ਆਓ ਉਸੇ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੜ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੋੜਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
In the last episodes, two episodes, we discussed that as long we continue presenting Bani in a literal way and which has little relevance, we would not see change.
Right.
And Sikhi soch, Sikhi vichardhara, Sikh kirdara keemtan de behavior, Sikh kirdara keemtan de, we will not see that change.
Ji.
And especially our youth will not understand what it means to be a Sikh. And we mentioned that we need to go beyond the literal translation and explain Gurbani. And we must stay within the key Sikhi Siddhant. We need to stay there.
Yeah.
Now, in this episode, maybe next episode, we will talk about briefly some fundamental Sikhi Siddhant, Sikhi principles that we must, every prachar must stick to.
Right.
I think the most important fundamental Sikh spiritual doctrine is the concept of God.
Yeah.
We discussed it in episodes here, and I have actually on the spirituality blog, spiritualityblog.ca, what God is, what misconceptions, explanations are there. When we understand the concept of God of Guru Nanak, I think if the society can understand the concept of God of Guru Nanak, half the world problems will be solved. Religious problems will be solved.
Right.
And lots of misunderstanding, misconceptions will be clear. Now, let's briefly talk about it. God of Guru Nanak, as we said, Shabd Guru, Bani Guru, Gyan Guru. Now, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, divine intellect. That's clear. God of Guru Nanak is Gobind Guni Nidan, treasure of virtues, godly virtues, compassion, tolerance, kindness, respect, equality, love and care. That is the God of Guru Nanak. And we must keep that in mind when explaining Gurbani. Now, very important part of this is, which I think is misunderstood very badly, is Balhari Kudrat Vasya. God of Guru Nanak is the embodiment of the laws of nature. Now, it does not mean there's a Jivan Jajdi philosophy. When Guru Pasha says Bilhari Kudrat Vasya, there is a Jivan philosophy behind this. It does not mean God is physically present in sun, moon, in mountain, in plants, in animals, that physically is present. This is a spiritual philosophy, living in the present, spiritual guiding principle. Shabd Guru Surt Tunchela. Gurbani speak to your mind. Now, when Guru Pacha say Balhari Kudrat, there's a philosophy behind it. What Guru Nanak Pacha is saying here is nothing ever happen in violations of the laws of nature. Accepting the situation as they happen in our daily life and accept that and then move forward finding solutions. We must keep the concept in mind. When we conceptualize the God, this is the concept as we Sikhi Siddhant di gal karde hain. This is the concept. When we explain any shabd, any tok of Gurbani, this is the concept we must keep in mind.
Right.
Yeah. When we conceptualize God, however, as creator of this universe, create laws of nature, supernatural powers, omnipotent, control everything, is above the laws of nature. God is inaccessible, God is inapproachable, ਸਮਝਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ, ਪਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ. ਐਕਸਟਰਨਲ ਡੇਟੀ ਬਿਗ ਬੀਅਰਡਡ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਬੀਇੰਗ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਟਰਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ. It's not able, we are not able to connect with that God. We are not able to build any kind of relationship with that God.
Right.
And then we continue looking outside that powerful God. We never look inside.
Right.
We never look within. The God is kat mein harju bas hai. God is within. We never look outside. Our explanation based on the God of supernatural power.
Right.
We take away from the. This is the example how that takes away us from the real explanation of Gurbani.
Ji.
We read every day Harpreet ji, Karta Purkh.
Yeah.
Karta Purkh, God is the creator of this universe and pervades in it, live in it, and once we conceptualize the creation of universe, external entity, then we see no spiritual value in that.
Right.
We can God of Guru Nanak. When we say that external, then we look at the external.
Ji.
That God is somewhere in the heavens. Okay. When we conceptualize the God as we discussed of Guru Nanak, Sikhi Siddhant, divine wisdom and knowledge, a treasure of virtues, Shabd Guru, Surtatuntola, connection is with your man, consciousness. Then we say Karta Purkh. God is a creator of our consciousness, enlightened consciousness.
Right.
It change our thinking, it change our thought. Sachiara bana denda. Karta Purkh create our new consciousness, enlightened consciousness. God, creator of our enlightened consciousness, Sachiara bana denda hai, and virtuous bana denda hai. And when we take that creative power of Guru Nanak, then we are looking within.
Right.
Then we are talking about our consciousness, not talking about God is the creator of some universe. And then when we look at concept of Guru Nanak, it's a virtue, is a divine wisdom. God is virtues. God is a transformational power. Then we look within.
Right.
When we look at our internal change, and the focus is internal. Focus is not external.
Right.
So depending on the understanding of the Sikhi Siddhant, understanding the concept of Guru Nanak's God of Guru Nanak, we will translate Karta Purkh in within, our internal transformation. We will not talk about external things. And that is the way we will bring about change.
Right.
Let me take...
Before you go further, that's a very important point what you have touched, because of course God is the creator of everything. Let's talk about a mountain. We know God has created that mountain. But then again, if we are preaching this only, how is it having a relevance in my life? And here comes the point that Gurbani tells us that of course God is the creator, but as you very rightly pointed out, that how in our daily life, how it is changing us, how conscious we are becoming, that is what the answer is.
If God is a Bani, divine wisdom.
Yeah.
Which Bani, Guru
hai Bani.
Guru says that.
Yeah.
It God is a Gobind Guni Nidan. God is a trigger of virtue. God is a divine wisdom. God is the guidance how to live in the present.
Right.
How we relate that God created the mountain.
Yeah.
If we relate that to our consciousness, connection, Shabd Guru Surtatun Chela, if we relate that God to our consciousness, then we will talk about our conscious transformation.
Absolutely, and then we'll transform.
About destroying our ego.
Right.
Then we will talk about becoming virtuous.
Right.
We, it's a concept. It's the understanding. So which concept we talk about?
Right.
If we take Guru Nanak's concept, then we will talk about internal change.
Right.
We will not talk about mountains or outer things.
Right.
Okay. Now, let me take one more example to emphasize, Harpreeti, what you just said.
Ji.
Now, we read, Gava Kutan Hova Kisetan.
Ji.
Okay, in Japji Sahib, we read
Yeah.
that. And this is the little translation of that. This translation, when we look at God as a supernatural power, God which can do everything, God which we cannot understand, omnipotent, we will translate this line literally this way. Who has the power to sing the praises of Almighty God,
Ji.
which is inaccessible and unapproachable? Then what is the relevance? When we say this, what is the relevance? If this explanation, what is this relevance in my daily life?
Right.
How this guide me to become a good human being?
Right.
So what it means, when we understand the concept of Guru Nanak's God, I will translate this line this way. Again, in the concept of what we have power to know, that stuff. And gava ko, gauna hunda haiga, those who contemplate. Gava ko taan, those who contemplate, meditate on divine wisdom
Ji.
and godly virtues, hova kise taan. Does that mean spiritually you become spiritually awakened?
Ji.
Tu suchiyara ban janda haiga. Focus is internal and conscious transformation. And when we say, here, the God of Guru Nanak, when we understand that,
Ji.
When we conceptualize God as Shabd Guru, Bani Guru, trigger of virtues, is all about my conscious transformation and how to be a good human being. Our explanation will be internalized.
Right.
Our explanation will look inside. Our conscious transformation. Gava ko taan, those who contemplate on divine wisdom, those who contemplate on virtues, godly virtues, learn to live in the present, ਕਿਸੇ ਤਾਣ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਰਗਾ ਹੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ
Right.
ਜੋ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਉਂਦਾ,
ਉਹਦੇ
ਜੋ
ਵਰਗਾ ਹੀ
ਰੱਬੀ
ਬਣ
ਗਿਆਨ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਉਹ ਰੱਬ ਵਰਗਾ ਹੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ this explanation based on the concept of God, ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ.
Ji.
This explanation is based on this concept of God of Guru Nanak as Shabd Guru, Gyan Guru, trigger of virtues.
Right.
So this, as we say, this we need to keep in mind when explaining Gurbani, that Gurbani talks to our consciousness.
Right.
Then we will not simply say, who has the power to talk about the inaccessible, unapproachable, ununderstandable, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਬਿਆਨ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ. We will explain it that way. So keep this siddhant in mind when you explain Gurbani.
Life is changing at a fast pace now. We all know. Every day, especially our youngsters, they're living a fast life. So now time has come when we also need to understand, as you have said, the basic concept of Sikhism.
Yeah.
Because until and unless that is reflected in our daily lives, then it will be a mere lip service, what is happening right now, and then we'll not be able to change. We will not be able to have role models in the community. And that is why the youth is alienated.
Well, that's why when they see that, in fact, everybody, when they see that what I am hearing,
Right.
it has no relevance, and when I'm hearing, I can't take anything home
Ji.
and practice in my daily life, ਜਿਹੇ ਜੇ ignorant ਗਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੇ ignorant ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁੜੇ ਆਏ ਆ.
ਜਦਕਿ purpose ਸੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੋਝੀ ਪਾਈ ਸੀ.
Yeah.
The purpose was to go to a gurdwara that year you get that wisdom.
Yeah.
But if we are not able to garner that wisdom, then again it's a mere ritual or service what we are doing.
ਉੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਉਹ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਨਅਪਰੋਚੇਬਲ ਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ. ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾ ਤੇ ਗੁਣ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਰਗਾ ਬਣ ਜਾ. ਤੂੰ ਗਾਵੇ ਕੋ ਤਾਣ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਊਗਾ, ਡਿਵਾਈਨ ਵਿਜ਼ਡਮ ਲਾਊਗਾ, ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਾਣ ਤਾਂ ਉਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਊਗਾ. ਉਹ ਤੂੰ ਬਣ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਉਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ. ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮਿਰਤਕ ਕੋ ਜੀਵਾਨਣ ਹਾਰ, well, God infused life in a dead body. What that has to do with my life?
Right.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਤਮਿਕ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਮਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਰੱਬ ਜੀ ਜਿਉਂਦਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ.
That's right.
So this is, I think it's very important, as I discussed, to keep these fundamentals in our life when we explain the life. When we explain that way, Harbiji, it's logical, it's relevant, and it's a positive change. When you talk about internal change, it's important. And I think in the next minute or two, we have a fundamental too. I think it's very important to understand religion, spirituality is a human creation. I don't have a hesitation to say that.
Of course.
It's a human creation. We'll go in detail a little later. Harpiji, in the whole world, society has 4,200 religions in the world. Those, each spiritual Pagambar leader over the thousands of years, each spiritual leader Pagambar gave his vision how as a human we should conduct ourselves in the society.
Right.
42,000, 4,200 religion. Each of them came, they kind of gave their own vision, how the society should live. And they gave people, the rituals, customs and traditions. And so it doesn't mean that God gave 4,200 different messages. If there's a God is one, I can give it 4,200 messages. No God up in heaven have sent the religious teachings to those Pagambars or leaders, as we say. And I think if any religion claimed that my religion, a revealed religion, that God up in heaven sent these instructions to us, is not true. Which has, for example, which was sacred in scriptures, in the most popular religions are no longer sustainable. Those sacred things which were in their in the scriptures. Many of them. We give an example. It was sacred that earth is flat.
Right.
It was a sacred. God sent. But we found out that was not true.
Absolutely.
And other things, the Immaculate Conception, Mata Gujri di vi, Mata Ganga di vi kahani, ਉਹ ਜੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਗਨੈਂਟ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹਨਾ ਯਾਨੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ now we know that's not possible and God is that's why when these things happen then Harpiji in 60s there was a movement that was called God is Dead Theologians and they said well, all you're talking about has no relevance is not practical, is not logical, and that a lot of those belief systems science has proven wrong.
Right. So with evolution of time, things have to change, and if we really want the true message of Gurbani to reach to the youngsters, then definitely we have to come to the conclusion that things which affect a common person are the ones which are going to influence our youngsters. If we come up with just miraculous stories, then the time is gone. We will not be able to influence such.
As I mentioned, a lot of scriptures have changed over time.
Oh yes.
A lot of scriptures, you read that, they've changed over time.
But luckily for the Sikhs, the Guru Granth Sahib
is mentioned that it was only
very true, because jo si hai te rahega, the message is the same. The interpretation which had been done previously needs to change now because the time is changing. People are not interested in miracles. It was a pleasure talking to you. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਉਣ ਲਈ। ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ। ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੇਣਾ 604 603 7555 ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਈਮੇਲ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ harpreetsingh@gmail.com। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਬੁੱਧੀਜੀਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵਟਾਂਦਰਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਸਕੀਏ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦੇ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਐਡਵਰਟਾਈਜ਼ਰਸ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਦੌਲਤ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪਿਛਲੇ 6 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਾਂ ਖਰੀਦਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੋਏ TV ਤੋਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਥਰੂ ਐਡਵਰਟਾਈਜ਼ਮੈਂਟ ਜਾਂ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਅਗਰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰਨਾ। ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈਣਾ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਫਿਰ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਤਦ ਤੱਕ ਗੁੱਡ ਬਾਏ।